Good morning, San Bernardino. Welcome to episode 4 of Everything San Bernardino Real Estate. I'm Robert Carrillo, and with me, as always, is Yvette Romero. It's another beautiful day in San Bernardino. Even when it rains, it's beautiful. For real, my grass is greener. Maybe I wouldn't notice if I watered my lawn on the regular, but that's another story for another day. I love seeing the snow-capped mountains. I know you're not seeing it right now. This is a background, but my window, it really is right here. It's just a background right now. But, I love seeing the snow-capped mountains. It beats walking through snow any day. And even though it's the start of the year, it is, to me, not that cold. I mean, it's cold, but it's not New York cold, not like ever that cold. And so, what's not to love? It's a beautiful day. How you, Yvette?
I'm good, but I guess I'm spoiled. The weather is not, it's cold. It's freezing cold. My feet are cold. My hands are cold. I'm cold. But I guess it's just a matter of perspective, I guess. But other than that, I am doing great. The new year has done me well so far. And the weekend is upon us. Actually, are we recording on the weekend?
We talk about real estate all the time, so I think we should, right? These are short talks, and these are meant to spark conversation and action, hopefully among folks who watch or listen. And yeah, we work on the weekends too.
So yes, we will be recording.
All right, let's let's talk about residential real estate for a moment here. In San Bernardino, in this first week of January, there are 53 homes out of 50,000 homes, give or take, that are in pre-foreclosure. And that's 53 homes. That's a very small number. And at quick glance, doing the research, each one of those homes, for the most part, has equity in it. In a nutshell, the San Bernardino housing market is strong. And those folks that are facing foreclosure or pre-foreclosure can and could probably avoid losing their home if they get a professional to help them through the process.
When we talk about San Bernardino real estate appreciating, one of the benefits of that appreciation is that you find yourself struggling to make mortgage payments for some time. You can explore exit options. It doesn't mean you have to sell, but the earlier you catch what's happening, the better position you'll be in to get out of it. So there's several different ways to tap into your equity. You could refinance, the HELOC, or sell. The worst thing to do is let the house go, because then you've lost more than the house. You've lost your equity. And equity theft is a thing and a conversation for another time.
So the message and the point is, one, if you or someone you know is having trouble making mortgage payments or are in danger of foreclosure, connect with a professional. And whatever you do, do not pay said professional, right? You should never have to pay for that type of guidance. Number two, it means San Bernardino will not have a housing crash, no matter what you hear out there about the market recorrecting or correcting or whatnot. We will not have distressed situations driving prices down. That's number two. And number three, if anything, now is the time to be a homeowner.
Visit our website for information on the home buying process, carrillogroupcany.com.
And since we're talking about equity, let's talk about one of the things that you can do with equity, and that is purchase commercial property.
The last episode, we talked about how there are no commercial real estate loan defaults in San Bernardino. Today, we're saying there will be very few residential loan defaults. There's a lot of opportunity in San Bernardino. I've read this next point a lot, and you mention it often, Rob. Invest where you know. So if you live in San Bernardino, invest in real estate in San Bernardino.
Yes, real estate is a long game. Once you're in, it's hard to get out, right? If you look at it as a long game, then you can take your time. Slow and steady wins the race. The best private real estate developers and owners I've met throughout my career all stay local where they are. Where they live is where they invest in commercial real estate. They stay where they know the people, they know the trends, they know the actions, right? You have to present very, very good opportunities for those developers that I know to venture out of their comfort zone. Based on our conversation this week, there is a lot of opportunity in San Bernardino. So if you're in San Bernardino, if you're here, take advantage of here.
And when we're talking about commercial real estate, we're talking about investment property. We're talking in best case scenarios, passive income. So it depends on how involved you want to be. There's a cost associated with any level. There are many ways to make money in commercial real estate, including cash flow, tax structures, and appreciation.
That's right. And as we mentioned a couple of days ago, there are over 200 commercial properties for sale in San Bernardino. 100 or so of them are commercial land parcels for sale. Now, land to me is always exciting because it requires the most imagination, the most creativity, and really you're starting with a blank canvas, right? But today we're going to talk about buildings, cash flowing potential properties. Land could actually be cash flowing too, but we're going to stick with buildings for now. Ones that, again, are cash flowing or require little work for them to cash flow. And the goal with these properties is for them to pay for all of their own expenses and to provide cash flow with as little interaction on your part as possible, unless, of course, you want to be hands-on.
So you can buy cash flowing properties or vacant properties. You can self-manage or hire a property management company. You can choose between retail, industrial, office, or multifamily properties. Each sector presents unique challenges and opportunities. And so for that reason, most private companies focus on just one sector.
Yeah, and I say the easiest passive income situation as far as commercial property is buying what's called a triple net leased property. That and these are property, usually single tenant properties where the tenant or the tenants pay all of the property expenses. In San Bernardino, there are a handful of retail properties and industrial properties that meet that criteria. With a 20 to 30% down payment on these commercial properties, you can get them to cover the mortgage and provide cash flow. Of course, the question is, how do you come up with a 20 to 30% down payment on what are presumably at least $1 million properties?
And that's where being a homeowner comes in. If you've owned your home at least 5 years, you have equity in it. In San Bernardino, there are about 4,000 homes with at least $500,000 of equity. That's a lot of buying power. There's 3 ways to tap into that equity: home equity loan, a HELOC, or by selling. Utilizing a 3-in-1 Resimmercial model, if you sold to maximize the equity, you could leverage that equity to purchase a commercial property and a residential property, where the commercial property pays for itself and cash flows to cover the residential property. And now you're building equity on 2 properties.
That, my people, is why you have to get into home ownership. And we're not the only ones saying it. I read an article today where real estate mogul Barbara Corcoran, you've all seen it on Shark Tank, she says now is the best time to buy a home because she predicts prices will rise as interest rates fall, right? We talked about that. When the interest rates come down some, you're going to have more buyers in the market. She also says that you should ask family or friends to help with the down payment money. Right? There's no shame in asking, especially when you're making this sort of a move, right? Folks aren't afraid to ask for gifts and stuff when they're getting married, for birthdays and whatnot. Yo, put that towards a down payment. And the best part, she says, the home you buy now does not have to be your forever home. You can trade up later.
Decision to buy a home is a personal one, and you'll know when you're ready. If you don't know, the first thing to do is to meet with a lender to get a clear picture of your purchasing ability. It's no judgment. Everyone has their finances how they have it for whatever reason. But with that knowledge, we can formulate a game plan, whether it's a 1-month plan or a 2-year plan. Right now, there are many programs available for down payment assistance, and you don't have to be a first-time home buyer.
Visit our website, CarilloGroupCany.com, for more information, or better, stop by the office at 1255 East Highland Avenue right here in San Bernardino. All right, let's end our chat with gentrification. All right, we've defined gentrification. We've given a bit of the historical context of gentrification and San Bernardino, and touched on how gentrification impacts small business, right? That's a lot of talk already about gentrification. And again, we're going to continue on it because it's a never-ending matter of subject. But I recently read a book by one of my community heroes, Majora Carter. She's a MacArthur genius. She's a fellow Wesleyan alum, go West, and she's now a dear friend. right? And she wrote a book called Reclaiming Your Community. It's on Amazon. A must read if you're interested in gentrification and reclaiming your community. I read the entire thing on the cross country flight. Yeah, I read the entire thing, right, in one sitting. But the number one reason I don't like gentrification, and my biggest beef with it, as you all know, is that it displaces people, right? Crushing what I think is usually the soul of the community. And so I think we need a new word or a definition that is about reclaiming your community, and building it up as if it were gentrifying, but without the displacement, right? So this reclaiming will also want to make people want to stay in their home, right, in their community. In San Bernardino right now, the existing conditions, the way they are and the way that people talk about it makes it so that people want to leave, right? They want to leave the hood. Even good folks, right? They want to leave, look for the greener pastures elsewhere. Meanwhile, the ingredients for a great and thriving city are right here, right now, right? And so because of gentrification, and it is here, it's already happening. That's a given. That's no doubt about it. But because of gentrification, the new folks that come in are going to reap the benefits of what is bubbling right now. So I think it's on all of us. I think it's on us as real estate professionals, as community organizers, as residents. We need to change the way we do real estate. We need to change the way we do community development, economic development. We have to make sure that people in the community have an equity stake, right? Again, we think the way we do it is by encouraging home ownership. When you have home ownership or when you own something, you have a stake in the community, period. Right. So that's how, that's what we're doing it. We're practicing it. We're trying to practice it in our business. And hopefully soon we're going to be sharing other practical ways that we intend to, again, do this right community development.
If you're interested in gentrification and conversing more on it, drop us a line. I'm going to go get a copy of Reclaiming Your Community. Robbie, think you could ask her if she'll sign mine like she did yours?
Most definitely. I would love actually to bring her out here, and that actually maybe that's something that we should look into, is seeing if we can get her out here. But for sure, she's dope peoples all the way around, her and her husband.
That's even better. Get her out here. All right, folks, that's a wrap for today. Thanks for joining us. Like, share, subscribe, or comment. We are Carrillo Group CNY, where we do real estate with purpose.